3, 2, 1.
Here we go! Hey guys, what's up? Matt here, and in this video today I'm going to teach you exactly what to say when your prospects say, I need to think about it. So make sure you stay all the way through to the end. Make sure you get all the tips and juicy tips that I'm going to give you. For those of you who don't know me, I run a sales agency called Sales Sniper, and we do literally tens of millions of dollars of sales for coaches, consultants, textile factories, door-to-door salespeople, whatever it may be, every single industry. If you do like the content of this video, hit subscribe, slap like, notification bell, all that kind of good stuff. Okay guys, cue the intro. Okay, so here's my step-by-step formula of exactly how you can overcome and prevent the think about it objection, okay? It's a 4-step process. Step 1 is all about pre-handling, because like prevention is always better than cure, or prevention, can be a cure. What I wanna do is I wanna create urgency, and that's how I'm gonna prevent it, the think about it objection. Now what I don't mean is like buyer's discounts and action takers discounts and all that kind of stuff, because if you guys have watched the channel before, you know that I'm probably not about that life. So what I mean is creating real and genuine urgency around the cost of inaction, okay, that relates back to the prospect's goal. For more information on that specific subject, I want you to kind of click up here, and I'm going to there's an actual video there which shows you exactly how to do that. But what we're talking about is creating a genuine cost of inaction, all right? We link it back to their goal, their emotion, the tangible and the emotion of what they actually get from that goal. And that's how we're going to create an urgency to act to fix the problem, not an urgency to act now because, they get like a slight discount or some sort of add-on. That's not what we're about. We want to create a genuine urgency to act through the cost of inaction, okay? So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is identifying what think about it actually means. Like, what does it really mean? Okay, because it can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. We cannot assume that we understand what they mean when they say they need to think about it. Sometimes prospects just haven't really considered different ways of thinking. Sometimes they're in a position where like they've made a series of bad decisions. Like need to think about it can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. So what we want to do is we want to identify what they're actually talking about. And then I'll show you a little bit later on in the video exactly how to kind of like put them into something that you know how to do. So identifying is key. Let's just say they go into something like, I need to check my finances. Now, I need to check finances is a combination of 2 different ones. So it's a combination of money and think about it. So I'm gonna go after the money first. And so I've gone over that before. If you guys want, you can kind of search in the channel. I'll do a link in the description of how to handle money objections. Now there's a playlist that says objection handling, kind of goes into specifics around that. But what I want to do is I want to get clarity and tie off the logistical side so I know that I'm dealing with a true think about it, which is usually going to come down to something along the lines of like fear or mindset, or something like that, where it makes sense for them to move forward. Okay, but they're not for whatever reason. The best example that I can give for this is fitness. Let's say you take someone who's 100 pounds overweight. Now, they're only overweight for the most part because of a series of poor decisions around training and eating. And so like their decision-making process around that particular part of their life is fundamentally flawed to some degree. So allowing them to think about it, allowing them to use that decision-making process, which has caused them to be in a state of pain, unhealthy, all that kind of stuff, is not going to be beneficial to them or you. And so we really need to define down where the think about it objection is coming from. Otherwise, we're just going to allow that same self-fulfilling prophecy to keep going, and they're going to end up in the exact same position where they're at right now. So step number 2 is identifying the actual objection, right, within the think about it. Now, if this process is making sense to you, just comment sales down below, okay, so that lets me know that what I'm actually saying is making sense. And if you do like the stuff so far, please consider subscribing and pressing the like button. All right, guys, step number 3, choose a frame and go with it. I train a lot of sales reps. We have a lot of internal sales reps, plus I train sales teams and all that kind of stuff. And I still do sales myself. It doesn't matter whether it's door-to-door solar, alarm systems, whether it's coaching and consulting, whether, I train a German textiles factory, okay, who do sales for like seatbelts for Mercedes-Benz, okay? It doesn't matter what we're selling. I could become one of the highest performers in that company quickly because I've developed a strategy where I can quickly get people into frameworks that I understand on quite a deep level how to handle. You guys out there need to pick a framework which you're comfortable with. Some people it's identity framework, some it's cost of inaction, some is if you don't do it now then when, some is hesitation, some is leadership frames, or all these kind of frameworks that you can work with. I work with the congruency framework a lot, right? And then you, I don't want to do the wrong words here, but you kind of put that person into the box. So I'll use a bridge. So what I'll do is I'll get someone to say, let's say someone goes to me and they go, yeah, I really need to think about it. I just need to check. I need 24 hours to make sure this is going to be the right answer, okay, for me. So from there, there's they could go in depth with that as you want. They could talk about partner and all this kind of stuff, but I need to kind of put it into a framework in which I can deal with effectively. I'm going to say, yeah, that makes sense, because like we all make decisions based on our perspective, right? And they're probably going to say yes to that almost always, because of course we make decisions based on our perspective. So now I've turned the problem around from you need to do something to make sure it's correct to the only reason why you're making that decision is because you have a current perspective. Now that for me is very easy to deal with, because I can turn that into like the only reason why you're making those decisions is because of your perspective. But if you ever want to have a different perspective, if you want to move forward in your life, your business, your dating, your whatever, if you want to solve those problems, like the same level of thinking that caused the problem cannot solve it. And so we have to change our perspective, in which will fundamentally change their decision-making process, right? To put them more in alignment to get what they want. A lot of the time, especially if you're selling like say coaching and consulting or even solar, they want the outcome that's provided by the product or service. They're just scared over the investment or the time or the will it really work for me, etc. So what we do is we shift that from a problem of they have a tactical, I need to think about this, and we bring it back to more of a strategic issue, which is that like, no, you don't need to worry about these tactics, you have the wrong strategy. The strategy is to think differently, and that will allow you to have a better perspective. So I choose a frame, and then I put them into the framework that works best for me to get them out of their own way. So that's step number 3, choosing the frame. So guys, if that makes sense, comment sales down below just to let me know that you guys are following, okay? Step number 4, it's the last step, okay, and probably the most important, is moving away from a decision to do or not do something, okay, and moving towards a conversation around what needs to be done to get the outcome. It's a very important distinction. I don't want to give people those binary choices, the puppy dog sale, the binary sale, the yes or no, all that kind of stuff. I want people just to decide what's in their best interest. What actions need to be taken to ensure that they get the outcome. I can't guarantee anyone's going to get any outcome. If someone buys solar from me, I can't guarantee they're going to save money, because storms could come in and there might not be any sun for a while, right? You know what I mean? I might be able to sign someone up to weight loss. I can't guarantee that they're going to lose weight, because they might not follow it, or something might happen. There's so many mitigating factors that we can't ever guarantee an outcome, which is why when people come and do sales training with me, like, am I going to get this crazy result? I'm like, potentially. All I can do is arm you with the tools to put yourself in a good position to be able to get the outcome. But I can't guarantee the outcome. What if you get no leads, etc., right? And so we want to steer the conversation away from, do you want to do the program or not, to, hey, I just want to know what series of actions and decisions you need to take and make in order to put yourself in the best position. And then once we establish that, it's like, how long do you really want to wait to start making the correct decisions that you know you need to make in order to get you to where you want to go? So it's a much easier conversation. It really changes the kind of the metric, and our pitch is designed to really help with that. So what I'll do is up here is I'll link to my last video, which is on the pitch, which is about how I pitch to solidify that particular start of the process so that you can actually do step 4 effectively. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful. That's my 4-step process to what you're supposed to do and say when you get think about it objection, when the prospect says to you, I need to think about it. If you guys did like this video, please press like, make sure that you slap it, make sure that you press dislike if you didn't like it, okay, make sure you comment down below, make sure you give me a sub, and I do 2 to 3 of these videos a week, so make sure you stay on the channel and make sure you give me some love so I know that you like it. All right, guys, have a great day, and bye.